Hi, I've just returned from Acapulco, where I went to celebrate my 50th birthday with my lovely, tolerant wife. And I chose that place because it coincided with an anarcho-capitalist conference. And although I'd hardly call myself a capitalist, I liked the anarcho bit, so I decided to see what was going on. And there were some great speakers there that I wanted to hear and meet, including Edward G. Griffin, Foster Gamble from Thrive, Larkin Rose, who wrote one of the most important books that I've read recently, The Most Dangerous Superstition. And there was also Ros Albright's mum was there. He's the guy that's been given 2 life sentences for the Silk Road. You can look that up. And there was a lot of talk also about cryptocurrencies. I don't think it's the ultimate solution to our problems, because I think the gifting economy is the way to go rather than exchanging things. But in the meantime, anarchists are really excited about this form of currency because it cuts out the banks and it cuts out the government. So I didn't know what anarcho-capitalism was, but in a minute I'm going to put on the video of someone who answered the question for me, one of the delegates. But it was based around the principle of non-aggression. And there were some really interesting talks. There was a lawyer who's talking about veganism and how if you're into the non-aggression principle, then surely that must also count with animals. And there was a woman there called Dana who's she unschooled her 4 children, which was absolutely fascinating, gave them complete freedom. And so we had a great time. But as you can see from some of the pictures in the background, anarchists just look like you and me and everybody else. They're, funnily enough, just normal people, despite the way that the establishment have corrupted the word anarchist and turned them into some kind of dangerous, violent mob. So enjoy the rest of the video and have a great day. What is anarcho-capitalism?
All right, so anarcho-capitalism is anarchism, voluntarism. It is the belief that all human interactions should be voluntary, and the people who practice this philosophy of life, they make sure that their interactions with everyone else are voluntary, meaning that they don't initiate force against other human beings. It isn't some system to be rolled out onto the masses of people. It's an individual philosophy and nothing more. It's basically live and let live at its finest. Well, not at its finest, at its most basic. At its finest, it's live and let others live as they want to, and do the things for them that they ask for you to do, and not the golden rule, but the sort of the platinum rule, and not do unto others, but do as others ask for you to do for them, as long as it's all voluntary.
Personally, I have huge questions about capitalism, whatever that really is.
Let's start off with definitions, right? Because I think that's a good way to really understand what it is that we're saying when we say the things that we say. I think there's been this huge conflation between capitalism and corporatism. All right, capitalism is anarcho-capitalism, as I spoke of. It serves as sort of the umbrella, right? And it bifurcates into 2 different genres. There's anarcho-capitalism and there's statist capitalism, right? In which those people of the state, those who consider themselves the government or corporations, where they use the initiation of force and basically the enslavement of their fellow man in order to create and generate capital, right? And then there's anarcho-capitalism, which is the other branch of capitalism, which is all human beings interacting with each other, trading voluntarily, and building wealth that way instead of through enslavement.